Hey friends, and welcome back to my channel. As you could probably tell from the title, we're taking a look at the new Wayne Goss Synthetics brush set. This has caused a lot of overwhelming response considering the price and everything surrounding the price. We'll go over the reasons why it is so expensive. We'll do a demo. We'll talk about the different brushes that I have, making comparisons with the texture and the performance and everything else in between. If you want to take a look at the new Wayne Goss The Synthetics brush set, then please keep on watching. Hey friends, if it's your first time here, my name is Alicia and welcome to my platform Kinky Sweat. Kinky hair, sweat life, where I share all my love of movement and beauty. If you are remotely interested in any of those things, then you've come to the right place. Oh, Wayne, you caused a lot of hoopla surrounding these brushes. When Trendmood posted this on her feed, people were over their heads mad about the price, and I think they were just seeing the $140, not realizing that is an actual set. It is a capsule collection. They're not sold individually, and I believe they will not, but there is a chance that he could make individual synthetic brushes in the future. I did watch these. Aren't you proud of me? I use my Dr. Bronner's unscented pure Castile baby soap, and for quick cleaning I always use my Praline Spirit brush cleanser, but I washed these with my Dr. Bronner's last night. They're completely dried and ready to go. When you see the 140 for synthetics, you see 140 and synthetics and you go nuts. Keep in mind that the 140 price is not for an individual brush. I don't care, Alicia. Okay, well, let's break it down like this. If you were to approximately issue a price for each brush, let's say we give the big powder brush a $60 price tag. That leaves how much left? $80 to use. Okay, well, how about we issue the fan brush $50? Okay, that leaves us what, $30 left? We could split it. Maybe this might be a little more because obviously it's a bigger brush, has more bristles in it. Okay, his 00 powder brush, his natural goat hair powder brush that this likens to and what probably he designed it after, is $85. It is not the same price. So when people are saying, why is he charging the same price for his synthetic as he would his natural hair brushes, it's not the case. I know you see the 140 price tag and you get overwhelmed by that amount of money. Individually though, it is not the same. And if you compare it to a cosmetics brush that they go for $48, $50, I think also people will worry that I'm not quite sure what happened with the Tom Ford and MAC brush thing, that they switched to synthetics but the price didn't change. I don't believe that's the case with Wayne. I believe that individually, if he were to make these brushes with natural hair, they would be more expensive than how they are now, synthetic. And I went over to Sonia's blog because she is a brush expert. She makes her own brushes, but before she did, she was heavily involved in collecting brushes and just knowing about them, right? She broke down 3 major reasons why these brushes are priced the way they are. If you want to read that blog, I will have it down below in my description box. Reason number 1. These brushes use a special Japanese fiber. I don't know what the name is. We're just calling it the special Japanese fiber that relies on special technology to process the resin. And I guess resin plays a role in the synthetics and the materials involving creating the synthetic bristles, filaments, fibers. And these special Japanese fibers apparently keep their shape better and they perform better over time. And standard synthetic materials that are typically used to create these synthetic brushes are PBT and PTT, acronym for 3 very long names that I'm just not going to pronounce. I'm just going to put everything down below. You could try to read them yourself. And reason number 3, which is perhaps the most important and standout reason why these brushes are so expensive, is the craftsmanship. If you don't care about that, then you don't need to buy them. Simple as that. The skill level required to bundle these special filaments is quite high, and she stresses the fact that it's not easy to do because they're not just doing it with the machine. They're hand cutting and hand bundling the special Japanese fibers that, depending on what the brush is designed to do, will determine the blend of the synthetic materials required for that brush to perform the way they want it to. Tough to produce the fiber, to handle the fiber, to craft it. There's a lot more involved than I feel one thinks, and I'm all for it. I love that. As someone who's in the performing arts and knows what it takes to produce a show, choreography, costume, music, if you want to produce your own music, if you want to make your own costume, the rehearsal, the tech time, the lighting. And when it comes to process and individuals coming together and producing the best and the utmost sublime products of life, I'm all for it. I also don't have any kids or any huge financial obligations besides, you know, my student loans and my bills. But I'm still in a place that I can splurge on a brush. It's not a brush versus food or a brush versus like my child's education. I don't have a dog either. The dog that you see, I babysit. So I'm able to buy these brushes. And even if I was able financially and I choose not to buy it just from my values and my morals, like I'm not spending that much on synthetic, I could do that as well. Keep in mind though that Wayne Goss is a business owner. There is a huge sector in the beauty industry of people who would rather use synthetic brushes because they're vegan or they just want to use cruelty-free product. Despite what Wayne might say about his brushes still being cruelty-free, despite the fact that they are made of natural bristles, people still don't buy it and they want their brushes to not come from animal hair or made from animal hair. He has to deliver as a brand owner and a business owner who wants to expand their market to that demographic. You're going to make it happen. And that's really what the brushes are for. And for that demographic, if they see the price and they feel I'm not spending that much on synthetic brushes, there are plenty of synthetic brushes that I use that perform just as well. I don't know about that. I definitely feel that Wayne is delivering sublime performance with these special Japanese fiber synthetic materials that will outperform a lot of synthetic brushes on the market because it's Wayne and he's not going to have it any other way. And again, I choose to buy them. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. And if you feel the need to discuss why synthetic shouldn't be that expensive and why people shouldn't buy them, sound off below because the floor is yours. And I'm not going to say don't share your opinion because I'm sharing mine. I just ask that we be cordial and we could always agree to disagree and to not take shots and assume other people's financial situations, calling them cheap or you don't want to buy these synthetics brushes because you just like cheap stuff. I mean, it's not necessary to mention that. There are a lot of people who technically could probably drop $140, just don't want to because they just don't feel comfortable doing so on a synthetic material. I think the word synthetic is a little stigmatized because it means fake, it's not real, it's man-made. Something man-made shouldn't be that expensive. I get it, but technology is getting better and better every day, and a lot of these man-made materials are actually quite good. And when it comes to synthetic brushes and their performance and them being able to perform like a natural hairbrush would, which is probably the big difference between a synthetic brush and a natural brush. Natural hair brushes are going to give you a more flawless, poreless airbrush finish than a synthetic brush would. A lot of people don't see the difference, don't feel the difference, and that's cool. I've definitely noticed a difference in my makeup application and how my makeup has been looking ever since I used Wayne and Sonia brushes, natural brushes in general, but that are high performing and are made of the highest grade of natural hair. To deliver on that and to be on par with a natural brush is quite difficult, and he wanted to achieve that. And these special Japanese fibers, the filaments that are made in their own factory with their own technology, their own technique, and everything's in-house, he wanted to deliver that promise. So we'll see what happens today. With all that nerdy stuff out the side, let's get into these brushes individually, what they are designed to do, and we'll get into the demo. Here I present to you Wayne Goss, the Synthetics. It is the first 100% synthetic brush set from makeup artist Wayne Goss. Crafted by Japanese artisans with the softest vegan bristles, these 4 essential brushes give you everything you need to apply a full face of makeup with the same flawless finish as Wayne's natural hair brushes. Again, they're not the same price as their natural hair sisters and brothers, but they're looking to give you the same performance. They are still cheaper than his natural hair brushes individually. I'm going to keep saying that because they are. Why are these so special? Well, we'll say it again. Individually hand-cut synthetic bristles mimic the soft feel and seamless application of natural hair. They're designed to bring out the best in products for all textures, formulas, and finishes. And lastly, they're handmade by Japanese artisans using traditional brush making techniques for superior craftsmanship. Let's start off with brush 24S, the large fan brush. A fluffy fan brush for applying foundation, highlighter, contour, and bronzer with a seamless finish. Next up is the brush 25S, the pointed powder brush. A tapered powder brush that applies loose and pressed powders exactly where you want them. Brush 26S is the blending brush, an eyeshadow blending brush that doubles as a concealer and precision contour brush. Oh. And lastly, we have brush 27S, the pencil brush. Finally, pointed detail brush for defining, smudging, concealing, and more. I have a few of my natural hair brushes and synthetic brushes. For instance, my Luxie 520 Taper Face. It feels soft. It moves well across the skin, for sure. I don't know if you... Something I've noticed with synthetic brushes, especially when I turn them circular motions, it's like they lose their fluidity. It's not the same silkiness, and I don't know if you see that. It just moves a lot better. But, for instance, this is my Beautylish Inchikohodo powder brush. The slightest bit of fluidity and glide is just more so with a natural hairbrush. Like, no matter how you move it, it just glides over the skin flawlessly. I can't explain it. You will have to feel it for yourself. Not to say though, Wayne did his very, very best in trying to mimic the feel of a natural hairbrush as well as its performance. It's still incredibly soft, and I cannot wait to use them, especially the fan brush. I cannot wait to see how it applies foundation and all that, so we're gonna get into it. But you know what? See, the thing is, it's not about what I feel. It's about those who want to use a synthetic brush that will want it to perform like a natural hairbrush would, and these come pretty close. They come pretty close. So let's continue. There are no individual prices because again, this is sold as a set, but keep on the lookout. Who knows, depending on the response from these, maybe he'll make some more individuals. Let's come in a little closer. That's enough. Eyebrows are already on because I just want to get that out of the way. And let's now go in with foundation. Today I will use a combination of my Too Faced Born This Way medium to full coverage in Praline and the Hourglass Vanish stick foundation in Warm Honey. I'm gonna first apply Warm Honey just where I have like a lot of, because I have a lot of blemishes here just because I can't stop picking around. It's just like the worst. Shake this up, and I'm gonna use half-ish a pump. I'll just use the full pump, whatever. Ooh, I'm excited. Let's see. Gonna do that. Now you can see it's not absorbing like a natural hairbrush would, which is a typical benefit using synthetics with a liquid product. Well, that got it on pretty fast. It's like I'm painting my face. So much fun. I don't know where I got these earrings from. I stumbled upon them because my earring display just fell because the push pin came off. They fell on the floor and I was like, I forgot I had these. For the life of me, do not remember where I got them. So I am terribly sorry if you like these. If you're like, no, they're ugly. Okay, great. I don't have to mention where I got them. Getting around the side of my nose, also between, this is great for between the brows. I like that. Around the nose area. Also, we could circle around to further buff the product in. Very easy to pull around the brows and not disrupt their shape if pencil's already on there, whatever you use to carve them. Love that. That was so much fun. Wow. Whatever leftover I have on my hand, pressing it into my skin or on the areas that need more coverage, but that's not bad. That looks pretty good. What do you think, friends? This is how the skin is looking close up. I put down the light a little bit. I lessened the exposure just so you can better see the texture up close. The skin feels great. I don't feel that I have to blend some more. All the portions of skin that typically can look textured, like around here, look pretty smooth. The stick blended pretty well with the liquid. Not bad. All right, foundation is on. I actually like this exposure a lot better. I know it was very light before because it's always hard to tell when I'm like right in front of my window what light's too light. But this, I feel you can see the color a lot better. So we're gonna stick with that. I have my microfiber towel on standby as well. And I'm just gonna wipe the fan brush off of that because I wanna use all the brushes for my makeup application. With that said, I'm taking my mini Born This Way multi-sculpting concealer. Isn't that cute? I have the color Natural Beige and I like to apply this right under where it's like the darkest. And then I'm taking my Fenty Beauty Instant Retouch in the shade 310 just on the greater under eye area. What I'll do is actually use the smaller brush to blend out the concealer right under my eye. Problem is I use so much concealer that I really shouldn't, but by itself I feel this will take a little bit to blend out. So I'm going to actually take my fan brush and use that to blend my under eye concealer. I love that. It's so soft. I'm grazing it right under my lash line. It doesn't feel stabby. It doesn't feel rough at all. And I love the natural shape of the brush. Encourages that like natural fan out effect that the concealer has under the eyes, which is great. So that's beautiful. Oh, okay. All right, got it. All right, let's get into this powder brush. Going in with the Milk Makeup Matte, what is it, Set and Blur? That's what it is. I would say Matte and Blur. Taking the powder brush with the light shade, I'm gonna put that on. It feels amazing, absolutely. Without a doubt, putting that around my nose, chin, forehead. All right, looking good, looking good. Then I'm taking the same Milk Makeup loose powder, but in the shade medium for the rest of my face. Taking that around. It applies the loose powder flawlessly. I mean, look at that. Feels amazing. Foundation is set. All right, I wiped my fan brush because now I want to apply bronzer. I'm taking my Anastasia Beverly Hills bronzing powder in the shade Cappuccino with the 24SS, or I just should say 24S. Let's apply that bronzer, man. Oh. Ooh, went a little crazy, went a little crazy. Amazing. Now, I think the main difference between synthetic and natural in terms of the hair cuticle, because since a natural bristle has cuticles on the actual strand, the powders stay in those cuticles, and that's why the product distribution is better than a synthetic brush. I like it for bronzer. I do. I think I like it better for my cream products. Like if I had a cream bronzer or a cream contour, I think this would be perfect for it. I still rather use a natural hair brush. Like I don't have my Sculpt one, but my Sonia Sculpt one. I just like how it glides across the skin better. But it could be because I still have foundation on here, even though I wiped it clean. I just feel that, again, I probably would just use this for a cream product anyway to get a nice flawless finish. Now let's go into, well, let's try some highlighter, shall we? I'm gonna go in with the same brush with my NARS Forte France. Oh, I like that. That was fast. Whoa. All right, and now let's get into the blush. Got the NARS Fire Clay. Do I want to use, let's use the 25S. Not bad, not bad. I like that too. This will probably be amazing with the cream blush. Maybe gotta get cream blushes now. I'm not opposed to that. All right, friends, let's now zoom in for the eyes. Using my Fenty Beauty Instant Retouch Concealer in the shade 235. Blending that out with the 26S synthetic brush. I already carved out the brows before I came on camera, so I don't have to do that here, but I'm just further filling up my lid space. Hello, are you even in frame? Good job. Now we will attempt to create an eye look just using this brush and the pencil one. Oh my goodness, can she do it? I don't know. I'm gonna make sure I wipe that clean. I'm actually gonna go in with my Praline Spirit because I want to get the majority of the concealer off the bristles. Using my I Love Sada E and ColourPop Through My Eyes palette. First I want to go in with Nostalgia. Let's see how that goes. I'm gonna apply this on my crease. Definitely doesn't move like my natural hairbrush does. See how it's moving my skin? It's not gliding like my, for instance, I just purchased my Hakuhodo brushes. This is the B142. I'm gonna go in Nostalgia. And it's just a silkier feel and doesn't move my skin around like the synthetic does. I'm just gonna continue with my Hakuhodo just to get the color on the crease first. That's just what I'm gonna do. Okay, so now let's go back with the 26S, but now with Misbehave. I'm gonna use that to just place it on the outer V, and then I'll use the brush to blend it out. See, now because we have the shadow on there already, it's gliding across the skin a lot better. Probably not ideal for the first shadow application on like the concealer that's still not completely dry, or if you insist on using this to blend, I will powder down the lid first. But that's not bad. That placed the shadow pretty well and it looks even. Taking this brush with Nostalgia, the first shade we applied, but now under my lash line. Oh. Put way too much product on that brush. Taking my J5522 with In a Wink and just blending it higher on my crease. And also I'm trying to clean this up a little bit as well. More Nostalgia because I feel like I need more of that higher on my eye. I'm taking the 26S again and just turning it on its side and further blending the edges. Let's try 27S, the pencil brush. Now going in with Divina. I'm just using that to carefully line my lower lash line. This definitely feels a lot more stiff, I feel, than a natural hair pencil brush, but it's still pretty soft. It doesn't feel stabby at all. Putting that on my top lash line, but very close to the edge. Just a little bit to add more depth here, not a whole lot. I don't want it to take over the entire portion of my outer V, but I do just want to add a little more intensity here. All right, let's see how the 26S deals with a metallic and shimmer shade. So I'm gonna do Muse. Definitely gonna wet it. Do I even have my spray? Don't. Ooh, well, I don't know, man. This is putting on the metallic well. It's like picking up enough that when I'm pressing it on the lid, it's showing. Not bad. I'm giving it a wipe and I'm pulling the bristles across my crease just to whisk away the metallic shade that went too high. I want to take another shade. I think I'm going to do I want to do something crazy and go in with Emerald Dream and put that here. I know it's really random, but that's what I'm feeling like. Because my leggings have pink, green. I mean, it has a lot going on my legs right now, so I'm just trying to mimic the design on the leggings, bring it to my eyes. I love how these brushes are picking up the metallic shades. Very impressed. Now with the same pencil brush in with Lucido. Definitely using this for the inner corner. Oh. Here's my Wayne number 6, which I think what is this number? 26S is trying to mimic a little bit. If you see these side by side, the natural hair is a lot fluffier, but we still have to use this a lot more. I had this since last year, so I understand why it looks fluffier. I'm taking the number 6 and I'm just pulling it across the shadow to further blend and smooth. All right, friends, I'm gonna do my other eye and I'll be right back. All right, friends, here's the finished look. Makeup is done. How do you like it? I'm sure you want to know my final thoughts on these brushes, if you think they're worth your money, and ultimately, if you want to invest on high-performing synthetic brushes, yes, they are very much worth your money. In terms of my favorites, by far, the fan brush. I loved how it applied my foundation. I love how it blended out my concealer, and I can't even imagine how well it will blend out a cream contour, a stick contour of whatever kind, and it will just look flawless. I loved how it applied my highlighter. It was pretty easy, pretty seamless. It just slapped it on there and I was aglow. I also love the pointed powder brush. I loved how it applied my blush, and who knows, it will be sublime for cream cheek color if I had a product like that. You know, there's like a Chanel stick that's $1 million. Maybe I'll just get that. I will say I'm just so used to using natural hair brushes for my powder products concerning my eyes, because I feel they allow me to blend my powder shadows seamlessly, especially on not a super wet concealer base, but it's not completely powdered down. I just feel it has better glide and I could just move the product better across my skin. I felt when I was was going in straight on my concealer with powder, the skin was moving and it wasn't gliding across as well as I would have liked. But I'm sure this is amazing with cream products, especially because it's slightly tapered. I'm not seeing if you can see that. It's slightly tapered on the tip. Ideal for the under eye if you want to apply a cream product there, applying a cream product on your lid, buffing it out. Ideal. Pencil brush, not too bad, and for being synthetic, I feel it's very soft. I loved how these brushes picked up metallic shades because ColourPop metallics could be a little textured in terms of finish. I loved how it applied Muse. It got the pigment on there, the shine was there, I didn't have to wet my brush. If I wanted a little more metallic finish, sure, but I'm very happy with this. I see the color on my lid, I see it has some glow to it. Thrilled. I loved how the pencil brush, how it applied my emerald shade. Beautiful. Got the pigment there, and I didn't get any fallout from the metallic shades, which I was very happy with. If I got some, it's because I overloaded my brush and the leftover particles that fall off the bristles will fall on your face. I didn't get that with this. When I applied my emerald shade, it stayed on my lash line. It looks opaque, it looks rich, it looks shiny, vibrant. Very happy with that application. I'm happy with my Synthetics Wayne set because I'm a Wayne Goss fan. I love his brushes. Anything he makes, I will try my utmost financial best to buy. If you want to say I'm blindly buying something that shouldn't be that expensive, go ahead. I respect your opinion. I'm also not stupid, and I made sure that I looked into this and didn't just blindly buy a brush set that I didn't know anything about. I knew Sonia was going to write about it. I read her blog post. It might inspire me also to learn and research more about brush making, what actually goes into it. Nevertheless, I'm happy with my purchase. If you're looking for high performing synthetic brushes that you feel you weren't getting from other brands, they're amazing, especially the face brushes. I love the fan brush. This is killer, man. Like, my foundation looks good. For me, I rather use my natural hair brushes for my eyeshadow, but because this isn't a typical shaped crease brush, maybe he'll come out with a synthetic crease brush and it will give me a little more glide, because I feel like this isn't ideal for what I need it to do through my crease when I'm putting down my transition shade. That's a me thing, and I could get over that. If you're very low key about your makeup application, you're not even applying 5 eyeshadows like I did, you're just applying one shade, then I think the 26S will actually be quite nice for you. I have bigger eyes and I feel you can see my mistakes a lot more. With hooded eyes, like, you can just nudge this into that crease and I feel it will be really nice to pull product through. Or if you just want to apply on your lid, I think it'll be perfect for that as well. Again, final thoughts, I'm very happy with my purchase. I recommend that you buy them if you want to invest in a high performance synthetic brush tool. It's not made out of the typical synthetic materials you see other brands use. Again, these are handmade, handcrafted, hand bundled, hand cut. They're not machine made. There's a lot of skill that goes into making these brushes. You believe what you want. If you don't care about high skill, handmade this, handmade that, and you still think it's ridiculous, then you don't have to buy them. Buy something else that's synthetic, and if you love how your makeup looks, then there you go. If you haven't found the results you've been looking for using synthetic tools, then I would highly suggest you check out the synthetic set. If you already have natural hair brushes that you think are divine, give you the makeup that you're looking for, then you don't need these. That's basically it. I love brushes. I want all of them. If you have a financial budget and brushes are not in that budget, and you love how your makeup look and you love your natural hair brushes, and to you feel that it's worth your money to invest in a natural hair brush, then don't get these. There's so many perspectives and point of views about this topic, these brushes, whether to buy them, whether they're worth it or not. I think they're worth it in terms of if you're looking for a synthetic brush that's going to be immaculate in performance and in craftsmanship. But again, if you don't care about that, then you don't need them. I highly recommend them, even though they're $140. They're $140 together, and there are a lot of brushes on the market that are priced around the same per brush that don't perform as well as these. They're not as soft, they don't have the right glide, they don't have a great application like these do. So that's my opinion on the matter. You do what you want. Let me know if you have the synthetic set down below, what your thoughts are about the brushes, how they compare to your other synthetic brushes, to your natural hair brushes, to your other Wayne brushes, and we'll take it from there. And that, my friends, is a wrap. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this video helped, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And until then, I'll see you on here again with another tutorial, chit chat, demo, or review. Take care, and I'll see you again soon.